Lights, camera, action.
Lights, camera, action, man.
Lights, camera, action. Malik, I call you Poop.
Yeah.
Never stand down when
Oh,
a man
no
reach out his hand.
doubt,
Y'all better tell him.
No doubt,
We
no
about to get
doubt, man.
started.
Here we go, man.
Yeah. We got our work shirts on too. This is a pop-up interview, y'all.
Yeah, I just popped up.
This is a pop-up. We got our work clothes.
Slow day for
Oh.
me.
Yes, sir. Cleveland Street Stories. I'm gonna double check this camera angle real quick. Make sure we got action. Yeah, we got action. We got lights, camera, and action. With my brother Pook. All the while I've been knowing this brother as Pook. But then later on in life, he became. You want to tell your real name? Or tell whatever you want to tell.
My real name is Malik Nasir Alim, but growing up, I went by Devin Connor, aka Poop Dog.
131.
131 soldier.
What was that? Was that Cove? What street you stayed on?
No, Angeles.
You on Angeles?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was right off 131st.
Okay.
Right there.
Between 131st and 123rd or?
131st, 127.
127. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm right off the first. We was 5 houses from the corner.
Oh yeah.
So I'm really off 131st. You know what I'm saying? That's why we call it OTF. Off the first.
Off the first.
Yeah, but we ain't on the main block.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we OTF off the first.
Okay.
But you know we 131 though.
All right.
That's our hood we were.
Well, I know that we had talked about podcasts. It's been a couple of years now. I think we were just talking about just shooting the regular, kicking the Willy Bobo, having a conversation.
Right.
And you invited me to CLE podcast.
Right.
If y'all checking this out, what's the plug on CLE?
So at the CLE Podcast Network, right now we in transition of moving from downtown to out here in Richmond due to some, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah, but the channel.
management. But the channel's still up and running. You know, we just showing old episodes and
Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
like that. But
How to
we
get,
gonna be shooting
how to
some
get
new-
to it? Tell them what the
at the CLE Podcast Network at youtube.com. Like and subscribe.
Yep. I got a couple of interviews on that one.
Yeah. Several.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, check him out. I did his, and he just popped up on me.
Yeah,
We
it's
have been
better
talking
with
about
you
it.
know.
Organic.
Yeah, ain't nothing about me fake, so I ain't
Okay.
gotta write it down. What you see is what you get.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? Either you like it or you don't.
Okay.
You feel me?
All right, let's get it started, man. It's born and raised in Cleveland, right?
Born and raised in Cleveland, bro.
Okay.
Born and raised. My father come from Birmingham, Alabama. My mother was born here.
Okay.
So we got southern roots. My grandmother was born in Birmingham, Alabama as well.
So do you because me personally, I know I was born in St. Luke's Hospital.
That's where I was born. Too.
Okay.
That's where all of us was born.
Yeah,
We all
yeah.
around the same age.
Yeah.
Everybody was born there by that time.
So let's start from there, man. So born in St. Luke's, where was y'all living at in that time period?
On 100. Well, when I was born, we was living on 130. I always lived in the southeast side of Cleveland.
Okay.
So we was living like right off 139th and Canyon.
Okay.
That's when my mother and father was together as a family.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I got 3 other sisters and one other brother out that one household from the same mother. So my mother had 5 kids.
Okay.
So I'm the second to the last. I'm the first boy though that my mother had, in which I was a twin.
Okay.
But during the delivery, the twin died. God, you know, blessed me to be here, to tell my story.
Okay. So
You know
St.
what I'm saying?
Luke's.
So I had a brother, you feel me?
Kane area. Now the Kane, that's off like the back street off of Miles.
Yeah, right off
131st.
Miles,
So
131st.
you 131st.
Yeah. So from there, when my mother and father broke up, my father moved to California.
Okay.
My mother went back and lived with my grandmother at my grandmother's house, where wasn't nobody there but my grandmother, my grandfather, and my uncle Buster.
Okay.
So we stayed there for like a couple years because she had to like scramble to get on her feet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But just so happened, her and my aunt got into a car accident in which they got paid.
Got a lawsuit.
Yeah, and I remember my aunt went and bought an old, I know the exact year because my aunt went and bought a 78 Thunderbird
Okay.
with her money.
Okay.
And my mother took her money
Right.
and put it down on the house on 131st.
Okay.
on Angeles.
Angeles,
You know
you
what
got
I'm saying?
the
So
house
by
on
that
Angeles.
time, when I moved over there, I was just starting the first grade.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't went to kindergarten at Moses Cleveland,
Mm-hmm.
but first grade I did at
Charles Dickens?
at Corlett.
Corlett? Okay, yeah.
The
Okay.
old Corlett.
The
not
old
the new
Corlett. Right, right. So Corlett back then was what? First through six? Kindergarten through six or what?
Yeah, it was kindergarten through six.
Kindergarten through
That was
six.
it.
So what was Charles Dickens?
It was the same thing.
Okay, just
But
go
they just
further.
had it just further down. They
Yeah.
like divided. This before busing came in, before
Right.
segregation and all of that. You understand what I'm
Yeah.
trying to say? So basically, we was really supposed to go to John Adams.
Mhm.
But when they started busing us, we had to go to Rhodes.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
really, we was supposed to go to Adams. That was at the other end of my street. You know what I'm saying? Walk up the street.
Yeah.
But they was talking about, I didn't know about the politics or anything about that. But that was some shit that they were saying, like Ronald Reagan was trying to, you know, like integrate the blacks with the whites. And you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
It was cool, you know what I'm saying? Because we got to go fuck with some white chicks at the time, in which wasn't no white chicks. You know, you might have had, like, we had one white family stayed on the next street on Lindencray, right, Freddie and them.
Yeah.
Their mother was white, all of them was white, but they really was mixed, but they looked more white.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, we going on the west side, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We slim, you know, like the white girls, you know what I'm saying? They was loving black dudes.
Right.
But I guess they wanted to see something different as well, you know what I'm saying? So that was cool about that, you know what I'm saying? Because I got to be, you know, you always got to diversify yourself, man. No matter what you're doing, you got to have diversity in your life, bro. You can't just kick it with the same people. You can't just kick it with black people. You can't just kick it with Mexican people.
Yeah.
You can't just, I'm saying you got to go outside your race to understand other things. That's how I do it. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Oh, yeah.
Like I got, you know, like I got some of my brothers that, you know what I'm saying, that's Arabs.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? But we family. I might be the only black dude really at they sets and shit like that. When they come, they mother and them love me.
Okay.
And all of that. You understand what I'm saying? Then, you know, I got my white dudes, you know what I'm saying? That's motorheads,
Yeah.
motorcycles, cars, and all that. Then I got my Spanish dudes and shit, you know?
Okay.
So, you know what I'm saying? So I like to divert. Then I got the Jamaicans, you know what I'm saying? I got some Africans.
Yeah.
I just, you
We're
know
going a
what I'm
little
saying?
too fast. Let's slow down a little.
Yeah.
Let's back up a little
My
bit.
bad, my bad, yeah.
So Moses, Cleveland,
Word.
that was the elementary school that you went to first, kindergarten,
Kindergarten.
when you stayed on Kane. So y'all moved on Angeles. You went to Corlett
The Corlett.
for what? All the way first through sixth grade.
All the way to sixth grade.
Okay, graduated.
Yeah.
Did
Went to
you
Hamilton.
Yeah. Did you make it through all the grades? You didn't fall through none of the. Okay, graduated. Then went to Hamilton. Hamilton was your junior high school.
Yeah. That's when I met Steve Kyle.
All right, so yeah, let's back up. Let's right. So coming out of Corlett, what was the that experience? Because back then you talking about preteen, you 10, 11.
78, 79, we talking about them, and we still talking about the 70s.
Yeah.
We didn't even reach
Because
the
you was born what
80s.
1970, right?
I was born in 1970.
1970. Yeah. So we born the same year. So I can know your track just by my track, because we the same age.
Right.
So you in the 5th, 6th grade. You still a virgin?
Yep.
Still okay. So
Right.
going up into junior high school, Hamilton. I know the girls was freaky already.
That's when we started fucking, when we got
Okay.
there.
So when did you lose your virginity?
Well, I lost my virginity over the summer.
From
before I
graduating from
went
6th grade?
From the 6th grade.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say no names, but it was a chick that lived on our street, though. She lived on the street.
You probably didn't say her name.
You know what I'm saying? No, I ain't said her name. And she had broke like everybody in, though. No, I'm saying all the dudes on the street already had.
Okay.
You understand? That was older than me,
Right.
not younger.
How old was she? You remember how old she was?
She like our age too.
She-
You know
okay,
what I'm saying?
okay.
Wasn't no like no Chester molester or no
Right,
regular,
right.
like, you know what I'm trying to say?
Right.
You know, back then, you know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just say she either was like a year older
Okay.
or a year younger.
Right.
You understand
She
what I'm
was
saying?
just
But the
experienced.
same, yeah, but she was already experienced.
Right.
The niggas had turned her out
Right.
already. You
Right.
don't understand what I'm
Right.
trying to say?
Right.
And yeah, so my mother worked the second shift at this time. So we got
Okay.
the summertime, we got the whole house to ourselves.
Yeah.
Nobody
After
lived, me and my
school,
brother, everybody over there.
it's over.
That's where the party at. You
Right.
feel me? So
Right.
she done crept over there and shit, man. We done snuck down in the basement.
Okay. Say summertime fun. So you go into Hamilton. Now, I tell people on one of the other interviews, Hamilton was at the corner of my street, but you come 5 houses to 131st, you dead line straight into Hamilton. That's like what, a mile away? Mile, maybe 2 miles.
It was a long ass motherfucking walk,
as
bro.
a kid.
Yeah,
but now
slow
you look
winter
at
and
it,
shit.
right?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It wasn't none of this Uber and all that type of shit.
Right,
and
right.
we wasn't about to pay no fucking dollar to ride straight up the street. It was just a straight shot, like you said.
straight shot.
So you know what I'm saying? It's like I might leave my house at 7:45, but by the time I get to Barlett, Dez coming out. So Dez didn't join me. So now me and Dez walking up the street, and we might meet Mahmoud and them at Melza.
Yeah.
And then by the time we get to school, it might be 4 or 5 of us that, you know what I'm saying, that walk, got there and shit like that.
Yeah. And that's one of the other things I'll be, I think I mentioned it, but if I didn't, I'm gonna mention it now. Had I not got bused, because Hamilton was at the corner of my street, I got bused to West Drop. I would have met you at Hamilton.
Right.
You know, when we that's when we were supposed to meet.
Right.
But I didn't meet you till later on.
Right.
So now we getting into the part where you in Hamilton, you talking about Steve Collins. Is this the time you ready to for the question, like when did you jump off the porch?
That's when the fucking I got jumped off the porch.
Okay. So when you was able to go, come out,
No, I'm
when you
saying,
didn't have to come in when the street lights came on.
No, check this out. See, my mother, like I said,
Already.
worked at the second shift.
Yeah.
She ain't had no car back then.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? So by the time she catch the bus from downtown back up to 131st, it's 12 o'clock. By that time, everybody normally had to be in by 11 o'clock because we were still going to school.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So like my mother knew that now that we in junior high school, she let us stay out till 11 on the weekends. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then she know where we at, then we can stay out a little bit later. You know what I'm saying? 12 or 1 or 12 or whatever, as long as somebody's mother might drop us off or something like that. You know, as long as she knew we was at somebody's house that she knew, you know, because back then, my mother knew my friends' mothers and fathers, or, you know what I'm saying, where we only had like a couple of them that had fathers in the house. Okay. Most of this all women that was raising all boys and girls, bro. Like, you know
so what was your first hustle?
So boom, we get to Hamilton. I don't know, I guess we might, I can't give you like the direct how we meet.
Yeah.
But somehow we end up meeting Steve Kyle.
Okay. Now we talking, now Steve Kyle, that conversation is in one of these questions. But when I asked you like your first hustle, like did you ever have a paper route as a kid? You ever try to sell candy? Anything like that? Okay, so you went straight graduated.
No, what I was like, what I used to do, and that's fucked up. That is crazy that I think about it. I was good with my hands back then, right? So I used to I'd take my bike apart, spray paint that bitch, put it back together. You understand what I'm saying? Or I might build like shit. I needed a fucking desk or something. I might build that. Okay. You understand what I'm trying to say? But I wasn't never like, no, I'm like, that plain dealer, I added that shit up. I had looked into it, and when they said how much they paid per paper, I'm like, I ain't getting up that early to go deliver no paper to get like, I think niggas checks and shit back then, you might have got a check like for about, man, I'm talking about that shit, I'm talking about, it might have been like $30, $40.
Yeah.
This ain't no 100 to 200.
No, I know. I think my first check was like $13.
Okay, so you know what I'm trying to say. So I can't even remember the exact number.
My apologies to the people that I kept their money. But I couldn't do the paper route, so they came knocking on my door. Like, can we get the rest of the money? I'm like,
You spent that shit on some food.
I can't do this no more.
Yeah.
But so we get into meeting Steve Kyle.
So boom. So now Steve Kyle house is like our house on 131st, but on Kingston.
On the 19th? Is that the house? Which house?
No. What street was they on? I think they might have been on 125th at this time.
Okay.
Because they stayed on several different streets over there over the period of years.
Okay.
And shit like that, you know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? I think it's 125. I can't remember because like I said, we was at Hamilton, but I just know we all going to Steve Kyle house.
Right.
After school, that's where the fucking party at. So, you know, Steve big brother, Rob.
Right. Okay.
So Rob a little older than us. But what it was, their mother was fucking with a Jamaican.
Okay.
So Steve was coming to school with the weed.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? So he the one that taught us, we was his first customers his clientele.
Okay.
So he might give me $20 worth of weed and I can roll up 40 joints.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? So I take $20, I can make 40.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? But he get his shit in the book.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
understand what I'm saying? He selling us $40. You know what I'm trying to
Yeah,
say?
yeah.
This when it's we only sell $1 fucking joints.
Right.
A joint costs $1. This ain't no chronic or none of that shit. This
Yeah.
regular fucking weed. You know what I'm saying? With the stems and seeds, and you gotta keep
Yeah.
you know, putting it on the album cover
Right,
and
let it
doing
roll
that
off.
shit and letting that shit roll off.
Right,
You know what I'm
right.
saying? So you roll up 40 joints.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? So by the time we get to 9th grade though, we fucking with the fucking, you know what I'm saying, with the girl.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
So
what year is this? About 85? 86?
this 80, 85, 85.
This powder though, you talking about
Yeah,
powder.
it's strictly powder.
Yeah, yeah.
But what I mean, what I said, we fucking with the girl, now we taking it and we lacing it
Okay.
in the joints.
Yeah, yeah.
Ain't cooked up, just pure powder. It smell like, if you smell it, it'll smell like it's been cooked. But
Yeah.
all of that shit's gonna smell the same anyways, you feel me?
Right.
But it ain't making you like on no ziggity boo type shit like if it was cooked up. You know what I'm saying? So we started smoking them, but them shits didn't really do nothing to us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We still was just, you know, shooting our regular, whatever. But that was our first hustle and shit like that. And boom. So now when we leave Hamilton, we get bust back again. So that's when Steve and all of y'all, I guess y'all go to Adams. Did you
We
go to
actually
Adams?
we went to the people from Kinsman North
Went to Marshall.
went to Marshall.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of y'all went to Marshall and then some went right.
Yeah, some did go to Adams, some went to Kennedy. If I don't know how they worked that out, maybe their parents protest or whatever made them stay or they got kicked out.
Right.
I'm gonna get Bird on here, man, and cause he went to a whole bunch of different schools.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to get him on here, man.
Okay.
But yeah, so meeting Steve.
So
Yeah.
Steve was introduced us into like
The hustle.
you know, we was watching Steve hustle. We really weren't hustling because we was just selling them little punk ass joints to
Yeah.
our friends that we do at school.
Right.
But Steve was on the fast pace of this shit. You understand what I'm trying to say? Because now he done graduated, he is selling the girl.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So, but now we all part ways because now we go to a different school. They going to Adams, we going to West Side. So when I get to Rhodes, I meet a land in which we already knew him from elementary school from when we had got bused back then. I meant to tell you, we did get bused. We went to Corlett and we got bused to fucking Benjamin Franklin.
Okay.
In mid, you know what I'm saying, maybe the 3rd or 4th grade. Maybe I only went there like a 1 year or something like that. But we ended up getting bused. So when we got bused, we started meeting the dudes from Union. So
Down the way, you like 110th, 93rd.
From 93rd all the way back up to like where the cutoff at, probably like 116th.
Right.
Somewhere around there.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you see Lance and all that.
Land, Ray Shine, so
Yeah.
like Ray Shine, Bat Mike, you know what I'm saying? Like me, Ray
Right.
Shine and Bat Mike was like matter of fact, we was in the 6th grade together. That was my little clique. Me, Bat Mike, and Ray Shine, which is Land brother.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But when we get to Rhodes, me and Land in class, because Ray Shine done failed, he ain't, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So me and Land get cool. So Land on, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? He, you know, they handle their business.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So now this when I jump off the fucking porch.
Yeah.
Because now I'm in the 10th grade, I think I'm grown.
10th grade. I think that's
I was 16. No father at the house.
that's 80. That's 86, 87.
86.
That's crack.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying
So
to say.
when was the first time you seen crack cocaine? Like a big bunch of like how was you introduced to crack cocaine?
Well, I'm gonna tell you like this: we really didn't get introduced to crack cocaine.
Okay.
Because on the simple fact is, it wasn't no crack cocaine back then. Anybody that had crack, they had to cook that shit up themselves. Where motherfuckers had to get the test tube.
Yeah.
This before niggas was cooking in the microwave. You had to have a fucking test tube, cook that shit up, put that shit. You understand what I'm trying to say? But you had to have somebody who knew how to fuck with that shit. You understand what I'm trying to say? So we really weren't fucking with that. You know what I'm saying? We was just strictly fucking with the powder and the gym packs.
Yeah. So
$25.
So the question more so is pertaining to let's just go straight into the crack era. When it was just full blown, when niggas was pulling up with pill bottles full of crack cocaine, or you was able to buy a whole cake, a whole eighth, a whole half, already cooked up, ready, set to go, just chop it up.
So
that particular part.
Just for the people that's watching now, just you know what I'm saying, just pre me going to school, going to prison.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? So
Okay.
you know what I'm saying, this old shit, this ain't no 2000, none of this shit. This back in the fucking, you know what I'm saying? This,
Right.
This 80s shit. This 1980s. So now, boom. One of my cousins come home from the feds.
Mm-hmm.
He was the man though before he left. But I was like 13 when he went to prison. So when he came home from prison, I'm 18 now.
Right.
So shit, I gotta go see my cousin. He had Benzes and all that type of shit. I'm saying he was like one of the bigger figures back then, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
With the Sumters and all them and shit. He was on that squad.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So as soon as I see my cousin, I'm like,
yeah.
Look out for me, cuz.
Yeah, because it's the 80s.
You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, this, you know what I'm saying? This is 87, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
88. Yeah. So my cousin say, look, they scared me straight. That 5 years, I'm good. I'm about to change my life around.
Okay.
I'm just being honest, and he was being honest. I'm his little cousin.
Okay.
And he tried to tell me, like, you sure this what you want to do?
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? And
yeah.
I'm like, yeah, you feel me?
Consequences and repercussions.
But he know, but you understand what I'm saying? He's my big cousin, and I, you know, as I thought about it over the years, what he was trying to do was like this, right? When you going to do something that you really ain't supposed to do, right? You want to go with somebody that's at least experienced, that really know what to do, because you still like a rookie in whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, like, you know, we always fucking with the cars. When the first time you went out to go fuck with a car or something, you ain't go by yourself and knew how to peel that bitch. You probably had to go with somebody and you saw them peel it.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm trying to say? So it was the same thing with that. You know what I'm saying? He wanted to direct me in the right path to make sure that if I direct him in the right path, maybe he can, you understand what I'm saying, go take this shit farther or whatever. You understand what I'm saying? So that's what he did. He introduced me to a dude that's still one of my G's we still down to this day.
Okay.
That these older dudes now, like I'm 54 now, so these dudes like 66, 67 years old, but they still alive. My cousin's still alive and my dude's still alive. Mm-hmm. And shit, they had the plug.
That's what's up.
You know what I'm saying? They had the plug, and so my cousin introduced me to him, and I had just had my little son, little Devin.
Okay.
This in '89. No, shit. Yeah, this in '89. And like I had been waiting on my cousin. Now in the meantime, I'm fucking with Red, laying down there on 110th.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? We only, 14, 28. We ain't doing no apes and nothing like that at that time. You know what I'm saying? So you spend $1,000, you make 1,500, you make 500 profit.
Right.
You understand what I'm trying to say? But by the time you sold all that shit, you really ain't really made no profit because
you're kicking
eating it with it. You understand what I'm saying? Your little girlfriend, whatever. You understand what I'm trying to say? We ain't even got no car yet though at this time. There ain't no car yet.
Get some shoes though.
No, you understand what I'm trying to say? What I mean by car, we got a car, but it's a bucket. It ain't. You can't say it's a car. It's transportation.
Right, but they gonna go to the mall.
All
got
that type
extra
of
money.
shit. You know what it is.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So every time when you re-up, it's really like all you got left is your re-up money.
Yeah.
You know, whatever you started off with. Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So after months, after talking to my cousin, you know, this one we got, ain't no fucking cell phones at all. This, you beep a nigga.
Yeah.
And you gonna either at the payphone, if you at the one that can ring back, or you at the house phone waiting on a beeper call. You understand what I'm saying? So after me beeping the shit out of my cousin for months and months, man, when you gonna hook me up with your dude? So my cousin like, be patient, I got you, man, everything cool, I talked to him, you good.
Yeah.
They pop up on me like I did with you today when I least expected.
So you get into the game, you hustle a little bit, you had to go do a little stint. Can we get into that?
Yeah, that was like, I had never got in no trouble though throughout all my years.
Right.
Like I had close calls,
Right.
but I wasn't a convicted felon or none of that type of shit. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I would actually go to the gun store and buy my own guns.
Right.
And all of that type of shit. You understand what I'm trying to say? Because I wasn't a felon
Right.
back then. You understand what I'm saying? But so we fast forwarded all the way to, you know what I'm saying, me going to the spot in which I was being greedy.
Okay.
You feel me?
Yeah. That's what happens.
And what I mean by that is I had a legitimate business that we was doing, you know what I'm saying? We was doing real estate at the time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I was like one of the first ones to fuck with real estate back in like 92. You know what I'm saying? Besides Dion Levy and them, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But long story short, my uncle, but I didn't have to fuck around. But one of my close friends, still one of my friends today, you know what I'm saying, still a good friend, came with a business opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought I could, you know what I'm saying, maintain both situations, and I incorporated people that I shouldn't have incorporated in, and you know what I'm saying, the chips fell where they fell at, and me being the stand-up guy that I am, even though, you know what I'm saying, to this day I've never been caught with anything, no drugs or anything like that. You understand what I'm saying? It was
Right.
a person that testified against me saying that I was the source of them getting there. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like they got caught with him, so you know how the police is. Well, who you get them from?
Right. Right.
So he really wasn't getting them from me though. He was getting them from a friend of mine, but he didn't know none of his information. He saw him, I would, you know what I'm saying? But every time he had to call him, he had to call me, and I would put them together. Like I have them meet at my mother's house, both of them meet at the same time.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? They ain't never do no exchange on numbers. They just exchange. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's how I end up going down like that, bro.
So when you went down,
Yeah.
you had your businesses. You had some things
Well,
on that.
before
You
I
had
went down,
assets, as I want to
yeah,
say.
I had assets at that time, but once
Right.
I had caught that case, I started liquidating shit
Okay.
because I knew that when I went to go see my lawyer at the time, which was Steve Bradley,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying? He was like, "Oh, you going to jail if you testify."
Okay.
So it was like I only had two options.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
Liquidate, go to jail, just put a little stash away, something.
No, the two options was get rid of this nigga
Oh.
or go to jail. You understand what
Right.
I'm trying to say? But
Right.
that first option is if I do that and then if I get caught doing that,
Yeah.
now I'm on a murder beef
Right.
instead of a drug beef,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
was
We don't condone
marijuana. It
violence.
wasn't no coke.
Right.
This was just strictly weed, but it
Right.
was over the buck amount.
Right.
You understand what I'm trying to say? So there was my lawyer. There was the two options. Either you gonna no witness, no testify,
Yeah.
or you know what I'm saying, you gotta face the music.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? So at that time, I started liquidating shit, man.
Okay.
You know what I'm trying to say? Sell off everything and all of this type of shit, in which all of that shit turned out bad. Though.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
'Cause a lot of times brothers don't get the opportunities because when the feds come knocking, they usually grab you and you don't see the streets for another 10
Yeah,
years.
no, I was out on bond and everything.
Okay.
You know what I'm trying to say? So, up to me going to this court date and shit, right? I'm thinking like, now remember, this before September 11th, before, you understand
Before
what I'm saying?
9/11?
Before 9/11.
Okay.
So people had people that worked at the driver's license bureau who could hook you up.
Right.
Because, you know, like we had the driver's license with the CDLs
Yeah.
and all that type of shit.
Get what
Like
you want.
with full endorsements. A nigga ain't even drove a semi before.
Right.
But you can have a CDL license
Yeah.
saying you got the endorsements to go get jobs. A lot of dudes who still got jobs to this day
Okay.
really didn't take a CDL test.
They riding off that old
They
grandfather.
ran at that grandfather clause and
Yeah.
got in and got them jobs, and you understand what
Right,
I'm trying
right.
to say? So that was back then prior to that. So by me being in the streets and shit, I always had another ID under a different name.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? In which that name was a Muslim name because I was Muslim at the time, but I wasn't a practicing Muslim.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? It's a difference.
Right.
You feel me? So I had another ID with a different name. So like when I get ready to go out of town and all that type of shit, I just only used that ID. I wouldn't go under my real name.
Okay.
Yeah, I wasn't doing shit, but you know what I'm saying? I just fly up and see if this shit really worked and all this type of shit. You gotta test that shit out. You can't just have that shit and thinking you only gonna use it in an emergency.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go to use it and that shit ain't right. So you had to test it. So it was good though.
So you go do your stint.
No, I go on the run first.
Go on the run first?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I go on a run down to the ATL, one of my good friends down there, you know what I'm saying, let me come down there even though he knew I was on the run.
Okay.
and he hooked me up with a motherfucker. I was down there for like 3 months, but he already knew that I was book smart on the paperwork with the real estate and the mortgage.
Okay.
And by me having that different ID, he got me a motherfucking job making $30 an hour.
Okay.
At a company doing post closing. All it was like, just like after you sell a car.
Yeah, yeah.
All I do is just verify everything that they brought us, all the documentation. I call and see, was that really, do they really work at that job?
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? I just had like a little piece of paper where I just check off.
Yeah,
but they
yeah.
paid me $30 an hour, paying for me to put me up into a hotel and gave me a company car. All of
Okay.
this and a per diem. $42 a day.
So that was like union.
Man, that shit was sweet, bro.
Right.
And I had went to a place I'd never been before, in which I wanted to go somewhere. I had two options. I can't remember what the one option was. I'm like, no, but I wanted to go to Baltimore because I had a cousin. My cousin Yaki lived down there.
Okay.
So I'm like, fuck it. If I go to Baltimore, my cousin Yaki down there.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? Got family.
Right.
So that's why I ended up going on down there. So I stayed down there working on that job for like 9 months.
Okay.
Because it was an assignment, like a contract assignment job. That's what they called it.
Right.
And it was over in 9 months. So now, when it's over with, I go back to the A. You feel me?
Okay.
But during that time, I had met this young lady that I was really feeling.
So you're doing the contracting job, writing up the proposals or the qualifications.
I ain't writing them up. What I'm doing,
I'm not writing them up. You proofreading.
I'm just basically making sure all the I's and T's crossed on the paperwork before the shit go to corporate.
And you doing $30 an hour.
$30 an hour.
And that job was in Atlanta, Georgia?
No, it was
that
in
was
Baltimore. Yeah.
So you go back to Atlanta because you stayed there for first.
I was down in Atlanta for like 3 months before I got the job. But that's saying the job you got to travel. They ain't in the city.
Right.
They, you know what I'm saying? They contracted jobs.
Right.
So what it is, what a contractor would do back then. This when the real estate game boomed.
Right.
So everybody buying houses because you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
all over the country. So what it was like, let's say for example, you was a mortgage closer, but for whatever reason, just say, you know what I'm saying, you had to be on sick leave for 6 weeks. So instead of them hiring somebody else, what they would do is they would call in a contractor for the 6 weeks.
Okay.
Because it take too much to hire an employee.
Yeah, we lost footage, man.
Okay.
We lost footage. Is it still recording?